Test, test. Yeah, there we go. Okay. You know, we'll always get a little background music here. Oh, yeah, let's not double up on the audio. Close. God damn. Okay. Oh, did I have anything planned to talk about for the next 2 hours, I hope? 3 hours? I hope it's 3 hours. Three hours. Yeah. I was off work for about 8 months. By choice. So, any complaints, it's not my fault. But, I can say, I mean, did I learn anything off those 8 months? Yeah. I realized, much more, or how much little time I really have when it comes to, getting things done. I mean, it's ironic that I had no time to listen to audiobooks, but that makes sense because you're not working an 8-hour job that requires you to use your hands. And so, what we're doing right now, I'm just going over this with a colored pencil, rather than inking it again in certain parts and waiting for it to have to dry. It's going to go take the final steps here. And then, necessary to go over some areas with the gouache, because it's a little more controllable. And give it some blue highlights here. Probably on his nose, his teeth. His teeth would probably be just a hint of yellow in there. But yeah, just want to lighten up those claws. Let's see, while I was off of work too, I managed to, well, fix his art room, for instance. Like what you're looking at right now is just like... My husbands were surprised how much room there was actually in this art room after I was done rearranging things. I spent my first, like, month off just catching up on a lot of, like, silly shit that I bought. Lego sets that I wanted to make. That's pretty much it. Rearranging some decorations on the shelves and stuff. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna take some yellow. Fix that up here. So that was like the first month and a half almost. Just doing Lego sets. I was going to do like a bunch of paintings of like the models I printed up. I haven't gotten to there yet because I got sick of waiting when it came to finishing the remake of the Furry Menace comic in a more proper format. And, you know, getting to my first major book finally. Ironically, again, didn't get much time to work on the second draft of the graphic novel, though now I'm starting to get back into that now. Finding more time to do that. I was able to post a bunch of stuff for sale that I otherwise would never have had time to do. I had an Etsy store for about 3 years with no items on it because I literally just had no time to ever post anything to sell. I had no time to think like what to make the description and the tags and all that. But now most of it's established, I can just copy paste it whenever I need a new print or new shirt or new sticker. So mainly just have to change a few tags and some titles. So that process got streamlined a little bit. It also helped with my consumerism mindset. Like, like all that shelf on the a lot of that shit on the shelf. That stuff I bought when I was like working the regular job. And it's all cheap stuff, like for the most part. The only thing that's really expensive was the Lego sets. The most I spent on any Lego set was like 70 bucks, and that's just one. The rest were under that. All those toys, like $10 each at the most. Some of them were $5. A lot of them were just $5. But like as soon as I quit the day job for the time being, like all that shit went out of my mind real fast. There's a little things here and there, but hardly anything consumer-wise was going on there. I was not thinking about buying any kind of video game or toy or anything. There's just like food, art supplies, you know, Etsy store listings, conventions, and that's it. All, like, everything had to be necessary. At least that's how I established it in my head. There was no room for fucking around. And, you know, we reached a point where, like, we had to make a decision of either just taking out, like, huge-ass business loan and hoping it works out. Because I don't know any rich people that could invest in my business with the hopes of, like, an ownership or a return on it. Not yet, anyways. You know, maybe I'll get lucky like R. Crumb and some rich guy will come along and decide he needs to launder some money. I mean, save some money or invest some money. That's it. Not launder, invest. And I'll invest some money by buying up some of the artwork I made. Sucks because I kind of just destroyed all the cross hatching on this thing, but hey, whatever. I think this looks better. I think the black and white serves its own way, and this color serves its own, too. Alright. Straining my hand too much here. Just let the tool do the work. I'm like straining it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, bright purple pink than that. There we go. Feeling this won't take as long as I think it will. There we go. Practice on my left hand a little bit more too. It's the one that doesn't have the strain on it as much. A little tufts of grass here. Added some variant in tone. And stuff you can't. Well, I guess you could probably get with watercolor, but I'm not sure how. Can't really say you splatter it because then it would just leave watermarks. Add more of a shadow there. I guess it'll be a lighter area here. There we go. Alright. Alright, what else do I have? I mean, that pretty much sums up the last 8 months. Yeah. I guess the other thing that helps me now that I'm back in the regular work schedule is it just, once again, makes me more focused on the things project-wise that are most important. Like, yeah, I can't hyper-focus on one thing forever. Obviously, as you can see, I'm doing something else here that's a little shorter. Kind of like fill a gap, so to speak. But I was able to like narrow down a little more, like, okay, wait, if I was to do one thing, the last thing I get to do, what is it going to be? And that's why I'm process of working on that book now. Funny enough, a mainstream movie is what kind of like nailed that into me. It's called Walking Tall. Walking Tall? Walk the Line? That's it. Walk the Line. Johnny Cash is doing a rehearsal for a record label, and he's like, and the producer's like, well, you've had one song left in you. You only have one song before you die. What song would that be? And he sung the Folsom Blues. Only in the movie. I don't know if he did that in real life. Real life tends to be less dramatic. That's why one of my plans is to do a graphic novel based on experience a friend had at Exodus International. I have his story there, and I thought, you know, I could try to do it one for one. But if you do that, no matter what happens, you're gonna have to take some liberties. Keep the narrative going. Have like a more presentable narrative. I'm like, okay. Take those elements, take the best elements, and, you know, still make it true. So keep it true with the events that happen and the severity of them. But also, you know, do what's necessary to make it more of a, I don't want to say mainstream narrative, just more of a narrative in itself. Period. There we go. Blackavera, Blackavera. It's time you get some black fur on top of that blue. I would like to think. Oh yeah, I also got a possible commission this week too. Do a wedding portrait. Probably should have charged him more, because I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to keep the original. But I'm like, wait a minute, who's going to buy the original? Who's going to buy an original of like one Persona character proposing to another, other than the person commissioning it? If it's one thing with my Skull Kid character, because I own that character. Another thing with someone else's characters is like, who's this going to resonate to other than the person themselves? Well, I don't want to do a bait and switch and be like, you pay me more money now. You want the original. So maybe I'll just gift it to him. Just make it clear, like, hey, normally I would charge a lot more for this, but I realize this is probably more fulfilling if you have it, and whatever it may be. Bring it back just a little bit here and there. The light. There we go. There we go. I think I added some flair to it. Let's stab some more grass in here for some variety. I have to mess around with the colors in this when it comes to the computer, so I can do prints of this. God damn it. Should have asked that commissioner to pay more. Oh well. You live and learn. I just realized, like, afterwards, after the fact, I'm like, wait a minute, there's no way I'm going to make any money selling prints of this thing. Not this one, but another project I'm working on. Gotta keep it secret, though. For the most part. Obviously, I can't say who the characters are or what they names are, because they're related to something that's going to happen next year. To me, though, I think it just means I have to make it so good that anyone that knowing who the characters are or whatever should just be willing to buy it. In fact, what I'll probably do, if you want to have like the names of the characters on there or something, probably make that separate, make the name separate. I can compile it together separate on final illustration. Yeah, just means I have a little more work to do on it to make it look good. Like this. It's turned out pretty good, I think. The thing I like to do now is make some corrections here and there on the oranges. These little spots. Too darker, need something lighter. Need something that can lighten it up. Now. blend some of these water spots in. So what do we learn? We're going to make it black and white, keep it black and white. We're going to color it, just keep it watercolor. And put it on watercolor paper. At least it wasn't pen... Well, if it was pen dipping, it would look better. It would keep the black better. At least ideally, I think it would. And I guess I'll find out when I ink this first page. Sakes, get in there. All right. I think it's as good as it's going to get here. The only regret is I should have probably have not taped that spot there. No, I can't wet it now. If I wet it now, it would ruin it. So I'm just gonna blend it. Get something darker. Yeah, I got this Prismacolor set for like 112 bucks. All the Prismacolor markers. It was such a deal at Office Depot when I got it 10 years, 15 years ago. Could not pass it up. But I had all the color pencils from Prismacolor, and anywhere else you'd find it would be astronomically expensive, even by those standards back then. At least 3 times. I've seen it for like twice as much, if not more. I can't imagine how much it is now. This shit's getting more and more out of reach for people. But, you know, that's where you hear stories about artists getting picked up for publishing when they just took a ballpoint pen and made their art that way. It's not the tools, it's how you use them, right? There. It's almost a seamless blend. And something like a shade darker, maybe. Ah, there we go. I mean, that's better than it was before, that's for certain. This makes me think I should have just did it this way to begin with. But then again, it would have taken a lot more effort and energy and willpower. But I think it turned out pretty good. So I was working on this video. I'll tell about it in a minute here. I'm gonna go get a water. Get myself a water. And put this under glass. Drawing. Oh, shit. Not. Before I do that real quick, I'm going to take this down and take a picture. So I feel like it's done. Feel like anything else will just take away from it. Now I want to make those teeth a little yellow. All right. Should I? Yeah, I'll probably save that story for another time. My dead years. No, fucking, I can't help it. I was working on this video first. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I was working on this video for called The Dark Mirror of Yourself. or the dark mirror version of yourself. And it's mainly about how Synthetic Man is the representation of everything I feared of becoming. I mean, minus the racism and shit. I was way over that. I had a few racist... Well, I had one racist friend, and then I had two friends that had like a racist phase, I guess. No other way to describe it. They annoyed the shit out of me. We used to get in arguments all the time. Besides the point. It's funny though that one of the things they went to was like comparing black people to orcs. So if anyone tries to like say that like that was some I don't know leftist thing that they made up, like no, that was something right wingers were doing forever. Anywho, yeah, my dead years. Oh, I consider my dead years probably not too long after high school, going into college. I saw a lot of insecurities I was trying to get over. Shame in my sexuality and my sexual kinks. Fantasies, as if those like apply to real life in any way. I mean, it's so fucking ironic, you know, you try to shame yourself out of something and it only makes that feeling stronger and leads to other things. It's probably how you end up with people like Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy or some shit. Ted Bundy wanted to sleep around, he felt bad about himself, and so he ended up just becoming a serial killer. I don't know. But I look at some of these people, these you know, these people that ended up doing egregious things that were related to like their self-hatred or whatever. It's like, man, if only they were accepting of themselves, they probably wouldn't end up becoming a fucking killer. So I had that going on. My own insecurities. All my own shame. Looking up porn. Post-nut guilt. I like to make fun of it. And the drinking age in Canada was 19. It didn't require a passport to cross the border, which is how it should be everywhere across the borders. It should not require passports. You should be able to go anywhere you want, whenever you want, and there should be no borders. But, you know, got a taste of that. Living out in Michigan, in the Detroit area. So, my friends and I went to Canada and spent a few days there at one point on vacation. Went up to Windsor to drink. And I was pretty adamant about not drinking. Mainly because my friends would get so drunk. It'd just be fucking a hassle to try to like keep them around so they don't do anything stupid that would get themselves killed or injured or whatever. I need to fix this part. And I got to the point where I like blocked out memories that they remember that I don't. They're like, oh yeah, remember that time when this happened? I'm like, I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that time at all. I hardly remember it. I just blocked out a lot of the shit. That was happening during those times. And they would often have to like fucking fight and beg me to drive there. And it got to the point where a lot of times I was just sketching and drawing in my book in the car while they went out and got too shit-faced to even find the goddamn parking lot where the car was. It'd be fucking like 4 a.m. and I gotta get up at like 7 to get to work. But when you're young and dumb, you think like your friends are so important, you gotta keep them around. I have a hard time letting them go. I'm just glad I got away when I did. Grew up, I guess. God damn it, now I gotta take another picture of this. I have to. Flatten it out as best I can. I guess I could scan it. Eh. Okay, close that up. So yeah, in the long run though, I'm glad I stuck to drawing a lot more. Should have cut them off. If I'm about dragging me along and just been like, no, I'm not going. Act like these were going to be the best years of our lives, drinking and fucking partying at bars, where I'm not interested in any of the getting to know any of the people there, or hooking up with anyone. They were, and never did. Almost never. A few times. A few times. It was crazy. It was stupid. I hated it. I still got the pictures. I still got developed pictures of a lot of those times, though. Because, you know, it's part of my history, so I keep them. But yeah. I despise those years. I don't look back on those ones fondly. I look more fondly back on the high school days than I do the college years. Working 2 fucking jobs, going to college. Having your supposed friend getting too drunk at a strip joint by himself to the point where he can't pay the fucking stripper and I gotta drive down to pick him up. Only to find out that he has such a tab that I can't afford it, so I have to leave him there and he has to pay. He has to call his dad. And his dad cussed him out the entire night. I can only imagine. Like, yeah, I've made him feel like shit, but not enough to make him stop, I guess. I need to have like a folder just like... I need to start organizing just like my finished and unfinished art pieces here. Putting it out of hand, the rate it's going. Okay. Let's try using this Ames letter guide again. So what does he do? He says he uses a T-square. Lines it up with the paper. I'm taping this down just for the sake of the watercolor here. All right. So my intention is just to practice a little bit on here. Writing the dialogue that intends to be on the page. Alright, where's my little Ames guide? Oh yeah, I put it in the bag. That's such a hard time with this thing moving on me. I'm gonna try to tape it, see if it'll work. Alright, what do they say? Like the 8th? It's ideal. Let's go 6. Yeah, it's already been. Alright. Let's see how you do. What is this? All right. I have an idea. Put it right there. 4H. Lighten up the lines. Also, I'd like to make this bigger or longer, wider. I think now I have an idea of how it's supposed to work. Ow. Where'd it fucking go? There it is. Whoops. Alright, well, nonetheless, I think I got the idea. We ain't doing a comic book yet. Say that for the transmission one. I'm keeping the words off the page, that way I can superimpose them any spot I wish. Here we have 4 mice. Arriving. In. Paradox. TJ. Maryland.
There's Poopy. There's Poopy right here. I'm gonna get you in.
In. And Greg. I'll make the capital letters cursive. Yeah, I think I should have planned that a little better. Still kind of want it to line up still. Let's see what we got. I still see enough to do this. And that doesn't seem right. Pushing this right off the page here. Almost.
Love you, Squeaky.
I love you more.
Let's go. Oh my goodness. Right, Tucker. That's time. Yeah, that's time.
Well, I wanted to make something I could compose on the page, so... Here we have four mice. Oh man, can you imagine painting this up, writing the dialogue in it, and then making a spelling mistake? Arriving in paradise. Paradise. TJ. Marilyn. Nin. And, oops, accidentally writing cursive. Greg. How they got here is not important. Right now. Okay. And let's stylize our letters here, huh? Okay, I don't think this taped down. If anything, I'll use this to keep it from buckling when I watercolor it. Alright, what's next? Swear to God, whatever record label owns Nine Inch Nails, they try to do some bullshit copyright claim and just the symbol here, or just the three capital letters. I'm gonna be really fucking disappointed. I'll fucking try to contact them myself and be like, why is this happening? And Greg's gonna get bubble enters. Get that shit out of the way. Oh, I hope we another drink and draw this weekend. That was fun. It was like hanging out with friends. Well, I mean, it was hanging out with friends. It's the incomplete one. Oh, stapled it. Yeah, I need to get some wood block to figure out how to make these stamps proper. Have to wait till I get paid though. I'm completely fucking negative right now. Alright. So negative. That reminds me. Tucker needs to go out badly. I can't remember if I walked him in the midday. I walked him in the morning. Tucker's gonna break my heart one of these days. You know, just trying not to think about it too hard, right? My goddamn motherfucking Tupperware. Alright, glass nib time. Whoops. It's a little more than I intended. Oh. Is that a good idea? Oh, maybe it was. Oh, that's cute. TJ. Marilyn. Hey! Hey! Okay. Glass cleaner for this bastard. Oops. Damn it. Well, let's play it safe. All right. Okay. Just gonna keep it by hand. Yeah, should have made these thicker. That looks better. Alright, 2 more. Bend over. Let's see if I want this a little thicker than... Go with this one then. See how this works. Oof. A little too thick. Go with the next step down. Much better. Oof. It's still too thick. No. Yeah, definitely too thick. Damn. Okay. Let's go one step down. Oh, man, just striking out left and right here. There, it's more like it. Ugh. Let's try it again. It's like a rave Killer Instinct tune playing. There we go. and try a different nib here for these bubble letters. I'm feeling that this nib wasn't washed properly yet, so it has a lot of oil on it. That's why the ink is just dropping right off a bit. Yeah, switching out, just try the next one. There. Just have to let that dry for a bit. I'll fix the TJ's J here. I also think I'm pressing too hard. There we go. Just hit me. I'm missing a lot of my friends lately. Alright. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead here and go to bed. So like a nice big glass of milk.